Dr. Kiran Kulkarni is with us. I would like to invite Dr. Kiran Kulkarni on this call. He will be the resource person for our next session, and he will be uh, taking the dope education, which is the one of the crucial and important part of the any sport. So we welcome you on this call, sir. And he is a very renowned person in the field of sports, and he's also associated with gymnastic, and also he's associated with football. As you can rightly see in the background of his screen, All India Football Federation is being placed. So he's with many other sports federation. So without wasting of time, I request Dr. Kiran Kulkarni sir to please take up with your session. Over to you, sir. Sir, you are on mute.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Thank you,
Good
Mr.
evening.
Shreyas. I think you can hear me. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now you are audible.
Yes.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Sir, you are audible.
Thank you.
Please continue.
Shreyas, can you just help me? The host has asked you to start the. Shall I press on this? Start my video, or I have to share my screen?
Sir, your video is on. Sir, on your screen, you can see the share screen option with a green highlight.
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah,
will
you
click
can
it.
click on that, and from there you can share your screen. You can share your PPT.
Is it showing my first slide?
Not yet, sir. It's opening.
Kiran sir, you're on mute.
Yeah, now?
Yeah.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. It's visible, sir.
ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಇದನ್ನ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? Just a moment. Video. ಇದನ್ನ ದೊಡ್ಡದು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲೇನು? ಈ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. It's okay. Sorry, sir. Just a moment. Shreyas, am I sharing the screen?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
Is it a full size, full screen?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just start off. So, good evening, one and all. Good evening, one and all. I'm Dr. Kiran Kulkarni. I am the chairman of the medical committee of All India Football Federation, and also at present I am also the medical and doping control officer for Asian football and FIFA also. And along with that, I was a former national team doctor for senior football team, women hockey, and men and women gymnastics. So in today's ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಇದು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ರಿ. ಇದಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ತಲ್ಲ. So in today's world of sports, we have this doping, which has been the main thing, because it is very important for all the sporting people, like as Yoga Federation itself has come under the ambit of this World Anti-Doping Agency, and along with that we have this National Anti-Doping Agency in India, and it is quite important for all of us to know that what are the aims and objectives, what is the definition of doping, its relevance to all of us, then what are the activities, then just a bird's eye view on the list of banned substances, and also I would like to share on the doping control procedure, documentation, lab procedure. But before we all know about this, it is also very important that we know what is a sports medicine. So because anti-doping is a part of sports medicine. Sports medicine deals with conservative aspect of sports injuries along with the know-hows of the branches of sports medicine. So these are the various branches of sports medicine. See, you can just see that all these branches like sports anthropometry, exercise physiology, sports biotypology, medical assessment and emergency medicine, sports orthopedics, pediatric sports medicine, women and sports, sports nutrition, sports pharmacology and doping, sports radiology, biomechanics and kinesiology, training methods, sports physiotherapy, geriatric sports, disability sports, therapeutic sports, and now latest we have this recovery sports medicine. So basically we have this medical college subjects like right from anatomy to obstetrics and gynecology, along with sports science subjects. All of these subjects come under the branches of sports medicine. So, what is doping? So, it is administration or use of pharmacological substances foreign to the body or any physiological substances taken in abnormal quantities with the sole purpose of increasing the performance by unfair means, and that constitutes doping. So, along with this, now we have about 10. We have these anti-doping activities, like we promote anti-doping activities in cooperation with other interest groups, and it is responsible and it is a responsibility of the doping control where with respect to the international and national codes. So the activities being, like education and information, as in this seminar, where we are giving you the knowledge about what the ambit of doping is. Then doping control, international activities. Also, we promote a lot of these research activities also. Like we had this IMA, we had this, doping awareness for doctors in IMA Dharwad. Then we also presented this international papers on physical conducted on the physical educators and coaches about the awareness, knowledge, and attitudes of doping. National workshop on anti-doping, and we also conducted this thing on medical doctors and doping in sports, awareness, knowledge, and attitudes. And this was presented to the 29th FIMS World Sports Medicine Congress in China. And education through newspapers. And what about the dirty track of Indian sports? Like India is ranked number 3 at present in the highest number of doping samples. You can just see this. This is a old one, like 2015. But again in 2023, we are still holding the same position. India ranks number 3 in the highest number of positive cases in doping in 1 year. And there are about 500 Indian athletes failed drug tests in about these last 5 years. And what about this national school games? 8 young children who are participating this in high school and the national school games, they were caught for doping. And I think recently, in about 8-10 days back, you must have all seen in that national, I mean, like the national state level competition in New Delhi. There was only one boy who ran the 100-meter race. When they called for the final call for the race, we had this what you call remaining 7 runners never reported. Only one person reported for the race. It was like somehow the National Anti-Doping Agency, they came and took the photographs, and you could see hundreds of syringes which they could they found it in their toilets. So these are the statistics of national anti-doping agencies. They have been doing some excellent work. So Parliament passed this national anti-doping bill recently, where now the Parliament passes the national anti-doping bill. So it is the landmark occasion when India joins the selective group of countries which have their own national anti-doping law. This new law will ensure higher standards of integrity while participating and for sports and competitions domestically and internationally. So now coming to the prohibited substance and methods in sports, that is 2023. So basically, why doping in different sports? That is because of the strength and speed, endurance, sports which demand concentration, and basically doping is possible in each and every sport. So these are a few people who are infamous doping offenders, and these offenders, because of these high profile athletes, the doping control in every sport has become so very important now. So athlete commits to doping when his or her doping sample contains a prohibited substance, or he uses a prohibited method, manipulates the doping sample, evades or refuses to take a doping control, or he or she promotes the use of doping, like smuggling and selling doping substances. The doctor, physio, trainer, if they advise or give prescription to these uh, players. So these are the ADRVs, adverse doping control. We have these 10 anti-doping rule violations. Presence of a prohibited substance, use of a prohibited substance, refusal to give a doping control sample, tampering or manipulating the doping control samples, non-compliance, administration, possession, and trafficking. So these are the 10 uh, uh, anti-doping rule violations. Any of these, you will be banned in sports. So recently we had this, we have this Duti Chand who got banned of, 4 years. It's like the athlete did not check the labels. It's very common nowadays. So coming to the prohibited list. So prohibited list 2023 is where we have these 4 parts. So prohibited substance groups, we have these prohibited methods, prohibited substance groups in certain sports, and specified substances. So these are the few prohibited substance group where we have they are prohibited at all times, all 365 days throughout the year. Like S1 is anabolic agents, peptide hormones, beta 2 agonists, which are used for as asthma medications, then diuretics and masking agents. So and substance prohibited in competition, there are cough and cold medications, stimulants, narcotics, then cannabinoids, glucocorticoids. These are which come as prohibited substance groups. So most important is are the anabolic agents. They are the highest drugs which are used in the field of sports, where these are the testosterone derivatives whose anabolic effects are stronger than that of testosterone. So they are prohibited because they increase muscle mass and strength. They affect the hormone balance and metabolism. They prevent overtraining, and there is early recovery, and there is a research which shows that there is a buildup of muscles. We call it as anabolism. So why it is banned is because of the side effects of steroids. If you can see the side effects right from head to toe, anabolic steroids cause various side effects. So this we may not see in the sport like yoga, but definitely in the field like bodybuilding, weightlifting, you can definitely see. And imagine the amount of muscle mass these ladies put on. So it is very difficult even to say that whether this sort of muscle mass is of a male or a female. So I have prepared one poster which has been approved by World Anti-Doping Agency. So how destructive are anabolic steroids? You can definitely download this poster, and you can show it up in your gyms, your colleges, or wherever you would like to show about the side effect, deleterious and bad effects of anabolic steroids. So again, these are the side effects in males, and this would be a better slide to show you, men and women, how the steroids have their bad effect. In men we have this baldness, and even in women also we have this hair loss, and there are some irreversible effects in ladies, they have a very deep and rough voice, their skin becomes oily, and there are a lot of acne, and their size of their breasts, they become smaller. And in males, the size of the breast increase. We call it as gynecomastia. and women start developing a lot of muscles, and they have difficulties in having their menstrual periods and excessive growth of body hair. That is, they start developing mustache and beard, women, so these are the few side effects in women. So especially I can so we have this German shot put champion, who gets a sex change operation way back, like in 2008. She got her sex change operation done, because earlier, when in 1970s, she was a East German athlete, and they were without the knowledge of these women, they were giving them steroids, telling that they were like vitamin pills. And over a period of time, though she won a gold medal in Olympics, and over a period of time, especially all these women, they got transformed into males. You could see this lady, and the present we can see sex change operation, and this is the how women get transformed into men. So now, coming to prohibited methods, manipulation of blood and its blood components, then chemical and physical manipulations, gene doping, or what we call it as cell doping. So coming to the methods, we have this what is called as blood doping, then artificial oxygen transporters, and they are prohibited because they increase oxygen uptake, what we call it as a VO2 max. So they improve performance in endurance sports. Maybe not much in yoga, but otherwise in endurance sports, they definitely have about 7 to 12% of performance enhancement. So again, coming to chemical and physical manipulation. So we have this tampering, basically, athletes, they tamper this urine sample by adding substance chemicals called as promin acid or proteases. They are called as masking agents, or they are also very smart by replacing urine samples, and they also do catheterization or use of condoms. So this is how they manipulate the urine samples. Now, coming to gene or cell doping. So gene doping is an outgrowth of gene therapy. Gene doping involves insertion of DNA for the purpose of enhancing athletic performance. It is the use of genetically modified cells. So what does the World Anti-Doping Agency say? Gene therapy is an experimental technique for treating diseases by altering the patient's genetic material. Most often, gene therapy works by introducing a healthy copy of defective gene into the patient's cell. So this is how a gene doped bull looks like. See the muscularity, see the size of a male man standing next to. At least I think it must be 5 times the size of this man. This is how gene doped bull looks like. So if you could see the effects on bodybuilders, so if you see this on the left side of your screen, this might be normal, and the bodybuilder on, if you see on the right side, this is how the bodybuilder may look in the coming years. So actually the gene is used for legal medical purposes, that is gene therapy, especially in cancers and various muscle dystrophies. And see this performance, illegal performance enhancement, gene doping. And probably you all must have seen this movie Hulk. Okay, so this is what we call it as gene enhancement, which we are all going for destruction. Now, coming to the specified substances, the prohibited list may identify specified substances which are particularly susceptible to unintentional anti-doping violations because of their availability in medicinal and food products, which are likely to be successfully abused as doping agents. So these are like without the knowledge of these athletes, unintentional use like ephedrine, pseudoephedrine, methyl hexanamine, methylamphetamine. These are usually present in cough and cold substances. So athletes must be very careful. Yoga participants must be very careful. Sorry. When you are consulting with your doctors, be very careful and inform your doctor that you will be giving dope samples, and to be very cautious when you are using this cough and cold medications. So these are prohibited substance group, especially in certain sports like alcohol and beta blockers. Beta blockers basically, blood pressure. Blood pressure medicines. They are also banned in certain sports. Coming to the nutritional supplements, most of you must be consuming this nutritional supplements, and you have to be very careful when you are consuming these nutritional supplements, especially proteins. Okay, the problem is insufficient product label, the impurities, and they contain these precursors of testosterone, and it is always recommended to avoid using preparations claimed to increase testosterone production. And definitely it is not possible for any of these the nutrition supplement companies to say that this supplement doesn't contain any banned substance. So that it is always important that you should go for food nutrition. So again, coming to Ayurveda, homeopathy, Unani medications, they have stood the test of time. At least in India, people's perception is that they are very effective and safe. But the fact is the ingredients are unknown, no effective product labeling, and they are not recognized by World Anti-Doping Agency. World Anti-Doping Agency recognize only medicines of, allopathic medicines, modern medicines only. They don't recognize this Ayurveda, homeopathy, Unani, or any of these local medicines like the herbal medicines or your allopathic medicines, or any, sorry, not allopathic, any of your local medicines. So the contaminated products, basically, like Russian pharma or the speakers of testosterone, they're all contaminated. So like, there was a product called as, Jack D3. They're all banned, and they contain these banned substances. So whenever an athlete or a yoga practitioner goes to the doctor, they must always tell the doctor that that you belong to certain sport, and the doctor should always prescribe free medicines which do not contain any prohibited substance, and the doctor should always himself confirm with the World Anti-Doping Agency website that the medicines prescribed is not on the list of prohibited substance. But be careful, because the athlete has the final responsibility, because basically we have a lot of cases where this over the counter medication, that the athlete directly goes to the medical shop and he says he has this cold and cough, and the pharmacist gives cold and cough medicines, and those cold and cough medicines contain banned substances, and that's how the athletes get caught. So we conducted a survey on doctors, and we asked this question that can you quote some drugs on banned list? So the doctors, 97% of the doctors, they said yes. So when we asked them name some drugs which are used, 100% of all the doctors, they said that they about the androgenic anabolic steroids. Beyond this, they did not know anything. So that's the reason it is very important that we educate the athletes as well as the doctors also. So coming to this very important, what we call it as a therapeutic use exemption. Okay, so therapeutic use exemption may be granted to a player permitting the use of prohibited substance in the prohibited list. So the player should submit a therapeutic use application at least 3 weeks, 21 days before the competition, along with your doctor, and you should apply to your national federation. Okay, so once you apply to your national federation or the National Anti-Doping Agency, the National Anti-Doping Agency or your federation will know where to send this therapeutic use application. And if you are eligible for this, and if you are eligible to take this medication, then they will grant you this therapeutic use exemption form, and you can produce it to your if you are selected for a doping control. So at times during medical emergency, the treatment is priority. The player doctor should apply for this what we call it as retroactive therapeutic use exemption form. Just have this in your knowledge about this TUE form. So all these lists what I told now, all are based on the International Olympic Committee and World Anti-Doping Agency. They are annually updated, like January 1st onwards till December 31st, 2023. It is not 22, it is 23. So just note down this list, www.worldantidopingagency, wada-ama.org. So all must be aware of this binding rules of the sports association. So doping control is always targeted at athletes who participate in organized sports, and so you have to be very careful. So now coming to the doping control process. So doping tests are conducted by World Anti-Doping Agency, international sports federations, like coming to your Yoga World Federation or your National Yoga Association or Federation. Okay, so in India we have this National Anti-Doping Agency, which conducts these doping tests. And for your knowledge, I was myself international gymnast, and this is about our Mysore gymnastic team. In 1993, we, for the first time in the history of Mysore University, we won a bronze medal in Surat during this All India international inter-university games. So coming to what is the purpose of doping control? It is to prevent the use of substances and methods which are dangerous to health or that which increases performance. And we also have to secure the athletes the right and honesty of fair play. And we all have to respect the ethics in sports and of medicine. So that is the reason why a doping control is conducted, and health is our main priority. So we conduct both urine and blood tests. So why blood test is because detection of growth hormone and blood doping, and some values are analyzed from blood, that is through hemoglobin, hematocrit, and screening. We do this APE, erythropoietin test. So blood test does not replace a urine test. So both we do urine test as well as blood test also. So there are three types of doping tests. We have, first one is in competition testing. So what is this in competition testing? It is like as soon as the like you being a yoga athlete, you, as soon as you come into the venue of the competition or the place of the competition, like if Chennai is a venue for competition, as soon as you land in Chennai, maybe through your bus stands or your railway stations or airports, your in competition test will start till the time you leave this place, like Chennai. As soon as you leave this Chennai, this ends. So this is in competition testing. And out of competition testing is anywhere 365 days we can come and check you. That is a training place, your home, anywhere, wherever you are staying. And third one is the target testing. So overnight increase in performance. So or overnight increase is just about 1 or 2 months back, there was no performance enhancement. It's all of a sudden today you come and perform in such a way that you win a gold medal. So that is time we call it as overnight increase in performance. And if there is any complaint with evidence, and what we call it as whistleblowers, so these complaints are given with evidence. So that is the time we target test. If one complaint is given about one player, then we go and check that player. If there is a proper evidence. So what is this testing tool? So athletes included are like, as an yoga practitioner, you are also an athlete. You participate at the national or international level, you are considered as an athlete. So you belong to a targeted doping group. You belong to this targeted group. So athletes in this are required to provide what we call it as a whereabouts information. So what? So this is one slide where I was the national team doctor of this national football team. So coming to this whereabouts information. So athletes provide their whereabouts information for at least for the next 3 months. 3 months the athlete has to provide information to the anti-doping, that is National Anti-Doping Agency. So failure to provide whereabouts information is considered to be an
Excuse me, sir.
anti-doping rule violation. Yeah.
सर प्लीज हरिशंकर जी
Can you
को
hear me?
बोलिए ना उनका माइक बंद करे क्योंकि आपकी आवाज बहुत डिस्टर्ब हो रही है उसकी वजह से.
Okay, coming to this whereabouts information. Hope I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
now clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir,
You
you
are
are
audible.
audible.
Thank you very much. So this is what we call it as the whereabouts failure, where this our national cricketers did not provide their whereabouts information. So the anti-doping agency, put a ban on them. But later on, when they informed about these players were let off with a warning. So it is very important for a few athletes, if you are participating in the national and international competition, it is very important for you to provide your whereabouts for the next 3 months. So now coming to the dope sample collection procedure. So this is very important because till now we had the practical aspect of what doping control is, what are the banned substances, why it is important for all of us as players, as administrators, as coaches, as doctors, why it was important, and a very brief knowledge for all of you that why it is important. Now we are coming to this practical aspect of how doping control is performed. On board on the sorry. Sorry. Now coming to the practical aspect of doping control. So this is about the World Military Games, which was in Hyderabad, and you can see these other football players. So now what I'll do is I will take you along, it will be just a tour. What each one of you have to do is you think you are an athlete, and just follow I take you the tour of how dope control process is done. Okay, so this is a football competition, or thinking that the yoga competition itself. So how players are selected is, so what we do is we always select in individual teams, we select silver and bronze. First three competitors are selected. But in team games like football, we select two players from each team, team A and team B. Okay. So this these German athletes have won gold medal. So we are taking. So initially, when these players are selected, so we select two players. It is a random selection. Okay. So once we have this two players, this dope control marshals. You can see one of the, these are military games, and you can see one of on the left side. You see one marshal notifying the player that you have been selected for doping control. Once we notify the players, we escort them to the doping control station. Immediately after the game or the competition or the medal ceremony, this athlete is directly taken to the doping control station. So after notification, the dope control officer escorts this player to the doping control station. So these are international just this thing for you during the Commonwealth Games. Just we are all in. I'm in this green shirt. Okay, this is an Asian Football Champions League doping. This is a squad in Qatar. You can see that in the suit, I was a doping control officer. On my right side is the doping control assistant, and other four are doping control chaperons. So they assist me in the process of doping control. This was during the IPL, you know, BCCI, our cricket. This is a, I mean, like observer from BCCI, and I was the dope control officer, and we have this chevrons. So this is again the international competition. Here again, you can see one lady chevron notifying one athlete, and this athlete has won a gold medal. And same in yoga also, if you have won a gold medal, a chevron will come and notify you that you have been selected for doping control. And once you are selected, you will be taking to the doping control station. Here, for example, we have these football players, and I am the team doctor, and I have accompanied them to the doping control station. So here again, you know, athlete like the high profile athlete has been brought by the chevron to the doping control station. Irrespective of any of these the high profile athletes, they have to come to the doping control station to provide doping sample. So once this athlete comes to the control station, we will take the identity card or your accreditation, and we will ask you to show your identity card and give you you have to give your personal contact and other relevant information. So once you provide all these things, you will be inside the doping control station only. You cannot go out unless and until the doping control officer gives you permission. So what happens now actually? Okay, so once you come to the doping control, you are asked to consume a lot of water. Okay, so once you start consuming water, you will be asked to provide urine sample. Here in this presentation, I am only talking about urine sample, because maybe some other time we'll talk about the blood sample, but here I will be talking to you only on urine sample. Okay, so when an athlete is ready to provide a urine sample, he has to provide about 100 ml of urine sample. Actually, it is about 90 ml. But as if I am the doping control officer, I always ask you to provide about 100 ml, always better. So the amount of urine which is to be collected is about 90 ml. So here you can see these are the urine collection containers. Okay. So once you are ready to provide the urine sample, you will come to the doping control officer and you will tell the doping control officer that you are ready to provide the sample. Now the doping control shows you this urine collection containers, and you will pick up this one of the urine container collection containers, and you will make sure that it is unbroken and clean. If you are sure that it is unbroken and clean, you will open up this urine collection container, and like this. Here you are selecting the urine collection container. Okay, so you are selecting the urine collection. See, the athlete is there on the table and you are collecting. So you collect this, and once you collect this, one of the doping control officers, like for example, if it is a male player, a male doctors or the doping control officer accompanies you, and if you are a female athlete, female doping control officer accompanies you. So you will go to the toilet, and you have to provide a minimum of about 90 ml of urine. And it's very important that you only have to handle your sample and collection vessel. So now the athlete has to provide the urine sample in a direct IV contact of the doping control officer. So the t-shirt has to be pulled up to the chest, and the pants or shorts have to be pulled down up to your knees. So now in the direct vision of the doping control officer, you have to provide 90 ml of urine in the collection, urine collection kit, like what I show you in the previous slide. So now if you provide about 90 ml, that is a complete sample. So if at all if you provide about 50 ml, so what happens next? So now we call this as a partial sample. If at about 50 ml, this becomes a partial sample, and you take this urine sample to the doping control officer, and you will have to show it in front of the urine, this 50 ml of urine, and we call it as a partial sample, and you have to pack it, and the doping controller will store this as a partial sample. And now you have to again sit back and keep drinking water till you provide another 40 ml. That is, so 50 plus 40 ml becomes 90 ml again, and that will be your complete sample. So once you are ready and you provide about complete sample, uh, okay. So once you provide this, when you have provided your sample, you will so this will be like, I'll show you. Yeah. So urine sampling process. Now you have, if you can see this athlete, she has, like provided about, see this urine. The athlete has got sample in the container, and it is about more than about 120, 130 ml. Okay. So once you have this, so you get it to the DCO, dope control officer. DCO is a dope control officer. You have this chaperone, and the athlete is in front of you. And this athlete, what this athlete does is, she will select this container. If you could appreciate this white bottles for which I am showing this, these are what we call it as a Berlinger kits. So these Berlinger kits, once the athlete selects these Berlinger kits, the athlete will see the number on the Berlinger kit. Okay. And inside the Berlinger kit, this two containers, one glass bottle which shows A, and the other glass bottle which shows B. So in the glass bottle, you will have to pour about 60 ml, and in glass B bottle, you will have to pour about 30 ml of urine. Okay. So this is how the athlete, divides the sample into A and B bottles. Now the athlete is pouring urine in the B bottle, that is, the blue colored bottle. She pours about 30 ml, lower part of the label, it is about in the B bottle, in the blue label, about 30 ml. And if you can see the red, that is about A sample, and you will have to pour about 60 ml in the A sample, that is the orange. So you should leave about a few drops in the collection vessel, and the doping control officer will check the specific gravity to know whether the sample is suitable for analysis. So once you have poured this sample, you will have to seal the samples. You will be asked to remove the safety red rings from the top of the bottle, and now you close the bottle. See, the A bottle is already closed, and the athlete is closing the B till you hear the click in that bottle. Make sure that the bottle do not leak, and it cannot be opened any longer. So you should make the the bottle cap tight till you hear a click in that bottle. when the clicking stops, it means that you have sealed the. So the doping control officer will check the specific gravity of the sample. So if your urine sample which is in the collection vehicle, to ensure that the sample is suitable for analysis. If at all the sample provided is not suitable, then you will be asked to provide another sample. So now once you have provided the urine sample, you have sealed both sample A and sample B. The doping control officer will fill the doping control form. Okay. So once the doping control form is filled, you will be asked to carefully check all the information on the doping control form, and particularly to make sure that codes of the bottles and the doping control form are identical. And of course, you will have to sign the form in the end, and you will receive the copy of it. So this is how you seal the samples. So A and B bottles are put inside the Berlinger kit, as the Berg kit in short. So you will have to seal the samples, and the athlete is doing that. And now coming to the doping control. So this is the doping control form, which the doping control officer will fill up the form. And once the doping control officer fill up the form, you will be asked to sign, and the doping control you will have to write your number, your sport, the venue, and the doping control number, identification, unique identity. You have this number on that, and you will also ask here what all medications or any drugs you have taken in the last 1 week, and you will be asked to sign the form, and one copy will be given to you, one copy will be sent to the laboratory. So even the at times, we also collect your blood samples also now. Be ready to give your blood samples along with your urine samples. So once you have done this, after the doping control process, the sealed sample are sent to the and the laboratory copies of the control documents are sealed to a transportation bag. These laboratory copies do not contain any information about the athlete's identity. The samples are delivered to the laboratory approved Olympic Committee or World Anti-Doping Agency. In India, that is in New Delhi, we have this National Dope Testing Laboratory. Okay, National Dope Testing. Your sample to National Dope Testing Laboratory within 24 hours through an approved courier. So once sent there, we have these two samples, that is sample A and sample B. So sample A is like we call the first sample. The sample A will be analyzed, and over 500 samples are banned substance are analyzed in the doping control laboratory. And if at all your A sample is found to be positive, and if any banned substance present in your A sample, in that 60 ml of your sample, then sample B is checked. Okay, sample B will only be analyzed in case it has been found to be positive. Sample B will be analyzed after request of the athlete, and it will be at the expense of the sports federation or the athlete. So definitely in the laboratory, the sample B will be opened and be analyzed in front of the athlete himself. So now when the A sample, the red or orange sample, 60 ml, which had sealed it, if it is positive, then your national federation, and you will have to get back to the national federation, write to the national dope testing laboratory in about 3 weeks time. The player will have about 3 weeks to respond if he is found to be positive. So then in those 3 weeks, you will be called to be called to the national dope testing, and the B sample will be analyzed. Then if even the B sample is found to be positive, then whatever drug you have taken, according to that. For example, if your analyzed this thing is found to be a steroid, then you will be banned for 4 years, and there will be a disciplinary committee, and to sit with the disciplinary committee, and they will give you a sanction. So this is how dope sample procedure is conducted, and you will be the samples are sent to the laboratory, and if you are found to be negative, like you are clean, then there is no information in about 3 to 4 weeks. Any information, it means that you are clean athlete. Okay, in 3 weeks time, definitely there will be an information if you are found to be positive. So clean sport, basically, if you see these two athletes, you will come to know who is clean and who was unclean, and this is how it is always the fight between the cheats, the drug cheats, and the doping control people. Always we stand for clean sport. So 99% of all athletes are clean. Only 1% of these controlled athletes have used prohibited substance. Or 99% of all the controlled athletes are clean. So the athlete is clean until proven otherwise. So the final say is sport is all we stand for. That is the reason why you should always say no to doping. So now World Anti-Doping Agency, they promote, we should always have a playing field, play true, and there should be always like playing surface should be clean. I mean, in the sense, we all have to be clean, and therefore World Anti-Doping Agency, that is this worldwide, and now in India we have this Anti-Doping Agency, and of course we have this Indian Society of Sports and Exercise Medicine, uh, uh, and in this society we have the sports medicine doctors, and I am one of the members of this National Society for Sports and Exercise Medicine. You can always, anytime, 24/7, you can always contact us. We are there to help you, and we are there to inform you whether this medicine is approved or it is not approved. Any injuries, any problem you have, access this Indian Society of Sports and Exercise ISEM website, and we have the sports medicine doctors who have spread India, and you can directly contact them in this doctors directory. You can find them at least one or two in your own place or your district, in your state. You can call them, you can take our reference, and they will be there to help you out. So with this, I end my talk, and definitely I would like to thank the organizers and the National Yoga Association for having invited me to give a talk on anti-doping education to all you coaches and players and all those associated with sports at large. So now doping control is very strict, and I would definitely say all these coaches and all these participants in this seminar, or in this uh, uh, group, where I just happen to give you how the doping education is given to you all, and by informing about the importance of doping control. So I thank you, and here is my mobile number. You can always note down my mobile number, and you can call me anytime, and I will be there to help you, and to inform you about anything about doping control procedure, any injuries you have, and how to come out of these injuries, rehabilitation, and thank you, and all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for the amazing session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Your session is amazing and a very fruitful.
Thank you, sir. Very informative, very educative, very interesting. Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
sir.
I think if there are any questions, one or two questions, I can definitely, I'm ready to answer if any of you have any questions to ask.
Yes, sir. Dr. Kulkarni, sir, it was a very, very nice interaction from you, and I really thank you. Now, you must be knowing some or many of the yoga sports aspirants would be definitely going for alternative medicine than the accepted allopathic medicine or whatever. And you said that the alternative medicine has not been part of the recognized medicines. Now, I guess ISSEM needs to put in a lot because there are a lot of bhasmas, so like Savarna bhasma, etc., and some of the lehiyas, which have also a direct bearing on the
Leha.
testosterone, where you highlighted, and so we should not be put to any sort of a harm or downside of the doping activity. So I would request you to throw light on this particular aspect, how the Indian medicinal system or maybe the herbal medicines from even other countries like African countries, how the people, genuine people are protected from being unduly doped. Please, sir.
Definitely, sir. Thank you very much. So basically, we call it as the local medicines or your what we have is Unani medicines. Like we have these herbal medicines. Like as you mentioned, African local medicine, Chinese medicines, herbal medicines, Indian herbal medicines. Where even in India we have this lot of these Ayurvedic medicines. What the World Anti-Doping Agency says is that these local herbal medicines are not accepted. Only this worldwide accepted medicines are the allopathic medicines which are accepted. Medications of modern medicine. Okay. So these are standardized medicines worldwide. So any of these countries you go, the medicines are standardized, and maybe the trade names may be different, but the actual ingredients are same throughout the world. But what happens in these local herbal medicines is we do not know what are mixed in these medicines, and there might be contamination, especially the product may contain contamination. At times what happens is this International Olympic Committee and World Anti-Doping Agency, they selected about 600 protein samples, which you get in the bazaars or any of the gyms. When you enter any gyms, you will see these one protein powders and these herbal medicines, and they claim that they reduce they increase the strength, they reduce this body weight and all. About 600 of these protein supplements were cross-checked in World Anti-Doping Agency. About 96% of all these supplements which were checked contained banned substance. In the fact, out of 600 supplements, about 576 of these supplements were contaminated. And if you take these contaminated supplements, then definitely you will be found to be positive. If these supplements contain any banned substance, and I do not know like what these herbal medicines, they may contain, they may be laced with steroids. At times, now weight reduction supplements are there, fat reducing supplements are there, energy giving supplements are there. So if you consume these, then definitely, yoga is such sport where we require very flexible athletes. Okay, where weight control itself is a question to these athletes. So if they consume these weight control or weight reducing medications, and if they are laced, or if they are medications contain any banned substance, then we do not know. So that is the reason why it is always very important that athletes are solely important. So whatever they consume, So if you as a coach or an administrator, if you ask your athletes to consume this herbal medicine, and if it contains or if it is adulterated with any banned substance, then definitely the athlete will be found positive, and the athlete will say that my coach advised me to take this medicine without any prescription doctor. Then it is like anti-doping rule violation. As a coach, you will also be banned, you will be fined, and the athlete also will be banned and fined. So that is the reason we have to be very careful when you are using Ayurvedic medicines, when you are using herbal medicines, like when you are using Chinese or African or Indian herbal medicine. For that matter, throughout the world we have got our own herbal medicines, but we have to be very careful, and the athlete is solely responsible for whatever medicine the athlete consumes.
Thank you, sir. Clear. Thank you.
I hope there is some light on whatever I told now. And we do not know about your ashwagandha or any lehas you are consuming, shatavari. There are like a lot of these things are consumed, but we do not know if it is a pure form or if it is a contaminated or adulterated product.
जी आदरणीय डॉक्टर साहब, ओम नमस्ते.
Namaste, sir.
Sir, I want to know the Chyawanprash is allowed or not allowed?
Sir, actually, I think I showed one.
हमारे बीच
also
में
where
हमारे बड़े
Mr.
बड़े
Amitabh
भाई
Bachchan.
डॉक्टर राजेश यादव जी भी हैं और दोनों डॉक्टर्स हैं. आप प्लीज सर आप बताएं कि कहीं च्यवनप्राश आगे तो नहीं फंस
सर
जाएंगे.
वो बिल्कुल आदरणीय भाई सुभाष जी, डॉक्टर साहब ने जैसे बताया, कोई भी आयुर्वेदिक, यूनानी या कोई भी हर्बल मेडिसिन दे आर नॉट अलाउड, तो
नहीं
उससे
डॉक्टर
हमें
साहब,
बचना
अगर
ही है.
अगर हम राउंड द ईयर उसको एक एक स्पून ले रहे हैं तो शायद बॉडी नहीं इफेक्ट करेगी
नहीं, वो
उसको.
फिर उतना नुकसान नहीं करती है, बट फिर भी वो डॉक्टर
तो
साहब
पकड़ में तो नहीं आ
की
जाएंगे, कहीं डोपिंग की पकड़ में आ जाए च्यवनप्राश खा के.
वो पकड़ में कभी कभी ऐसा
Doctor
होता
साहब,
है
you-
कि कुछ
good evening, sir.
इम्प्योरिटीज की वजह से
Doctor साहब,
कुछ इम्प्योरिटीज की वजह से कई बार गड़बड़ होती है. अगर वो प्योर बना है फिर कोई
अच्छा.
दिक्कत नहीं है.
Good evening, sir. Kulkarni, sir. Just as you talk,
Good evening, sir.
gone through that all the your topics and all these things, many of the things what we are consuming the food every day, there are a lot of adulteration foods we are consuming. So in that, the many that doping contents will be coming in that one. Even though we are taking the good food, there will be adulteration food will be entering in the body, and definitely will got the positive that case in that one. So how do you have to overcome that one, sir?
no, sir, you tell me one ingredient which you are consuming in food, sir.
Yes, sir. Many pesticides they are using in the growth of all the fertilizers and all the pesticides in the growth of the food grains. So ultimately, it will be contains that
Sir.
pesticides and all these things, sir.
Now, if they contain pesticides which are consuming in food, usually pesticides as such, they are in such low quantities that they never show up in your dope control. Okay, sir. So
Okay,
the
sir. Thank you.
medications which are banned are always, see, sir, just always remember, it is not use, it is always abuse. Okay, sir. It is when we abuse these drugs, only then they show up in the doping control procedure. Okay, sir. See, for example, a steroid. For a steroid, there is a particular ratio for the steroid which is produced naturally in your body. For example, testosterone, and for a steroid which you have consumed from outside. Okay, sir. So we call it as the ratio between the testosterone and the epitestosterone. So testosterone in our body, there is a ratio of 1:4, sir. So if your ratio is, think about 1:3, then you are not banned, sir. Only if the ratio is about 1:4 and above, then it means that you have consumed from outside, exogenous consumption of steroids. So if it is endogenous, if it is produced from your body, then it can never be more, sir. If it is consumed from your body, I mean produced in your body, then definitely there will be some side effects, and you have this lot of doctors and the research team which will investigate on you and come out with a consensus that whether it is produced from your body or it is from outside. If it is produced in your body, it will be produced from cancer tumors. Okay, sir. So if testosterone producing tumors are there, then definitely they will produce some other side effects also. So same thing is when you consume food which are like laced with pesticides, they are in such minor quantities that they will never show up in the doping control procedure, one. And second thing, when you cook the food, most of these pesticides are destroyed, sir. Okay, so only like normal food, uncontaminated food, if you consume, definitely it will not show up in the your doping, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Because urea and especially in the tur dal, there is one pesticide especially banned, that one. That was most of the things they are using, and that is reflected in many foods. And it is a ratio is shown very high, and that's why my question was put at.
Yes, Dr. Saab, herbal medicine which are manufactured, prepared as per the clinical trial test and on the research base. For example, Patanjali recently they have introduced this immunogrid, etc., that are allowed or not.
Sir, actually, to be frank enough with you, I am no person to promote any of these medications or anything else, sir. So the only thing we should know is what maybe as you said, Patanjali, Chamanprash, Himalaya, these are all companies, they come out and a lot of research has been done, a lot of
Yes.
analysis has been done, and
Yes.
definitely if as long as they are not contaminated, sir, definitely you can consume, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir. But
Thank you.
if it is contaminated, if it is adulterated, athlete is responsible, sir. Because
Good.
I definitely say that your whatever companies you took the name, they will definitely not put labels on their label that this product does not come under doping. Do they put, sir?
No, no, they cannot
They will
put.
not put, sir.
No,
They cannot put, sir.
but they
So that is the reason why
correct. That is the reason. That
it
is
is
why.
for the whole country, sir, whole world. Anybody can consume.
Correct. But they will claim that whatever manufacturing process we have done, it is clinically trial and research based, and all standards are maintained on document.
Thank you very much, sir, for
Correct.
your wonderful session. And also, you have very peacefully and wonderfully cleared the doubts of this. And this one of the topic was important in the sporting arena. And as Yogasana as a sports is growing gradually and coming up forward, so the coaches of this Yogasana sport should also understand about the importance of doping education. So thank you for covering this one of the important topic. We on the behalf of World Yogasana express our thank you to you for your precious time and expertise. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
This conclude our today's session. Sorry,
Thank you,
Subhash
sir.
sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Much more
मैं सर का मेरे बड़े भ्राता श्री आदरणीय श्री जयराम ठक्कर सर का मैं मोबाइल नंबर लेना चाह रहा था, मुझे कुछ पूछना था उनसे, तो
क्षमा करें
इजाजत
सर, मैं
दो तो एक
we will connect.
मुझे शेयर कर दें व्हाट्सएप पे पर्सनली, आपके पास तो होगा
जी. So we'll
माय
conclude
मोस्ट
this session.
रेस्पेक्टेड
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू
जी.
So should I speak now?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, yes, thank you.
744-742-1319.
सर